First, on behalf of myself and Sandra Spalding Hughes, former member of the Wilmington City Council and former state representative for the 18th District, we'd like to share these points in support of the Love Our Children initiative, petition, and resolution. When we learned that kindergarten, first and second grade students could be suspended from school, it was difficult to believe. It was even more troubling to learn that 40% of the 887 suspensions in grades K through 5 in 2018 and 2019 school year were for children in kindergarten. We used to say, if you can pick a kid up, you definitely don't need to suspend him. So the thought that the New Hanover County Board of Education has a policy and the practice of suspending kindergarten, first and second grade students is extremely troubling, unacceptable, and harmful to this community. The early grade suspensions can put young students on a tragic path that leads to further suspensions as they progress through the school system. If this issue is not dealt with immediately, it gets worse as students progress through our school system. It interrupts their education and sets them on a path to failure in school and failure in life. Research has shown the following. A single suspension can triple the likelihood that a student will enter the juvenile justice system. We all know that prisons are built based on projections from the 3rd through 5th grade in our school system. One suspension doubles the likelihood of repeating the grade. And worst of all, students who experience out-of-school suspensions and expulsion are as much as 10 times more likely to ultimately drop out of high school than those who are not. These staggering statistics just really are based on common sense. If somebody asks what happens when you suspend a kid for 10 days, he's never going to catch up, or she's never going to catch up. School suspensions can be the beginning of the violence in our schools and the pipeline to prison that is a cancer on our community, our state, and our nation. We should not be surprised with the recent events of shootings in our schools locally and across the state when we factor in the impact of school suspension on the students and the schools. School suspension should be the last alternative in dealing with school behavior issues, not the first. The disparity in suspensions of students of color with respect to total school enrollment is even more troubling and must be addressed. The same issues with regard to school suspensions were present 15 years ago, and it is amazing that it continues and probably is worse today. Clearly, the staff development and other attempts have failed to address the issue of suspensions as a first response to student behavior. A new attitude, a new paradigm is needed for the New Hanover County school system. I applaud our political leaders and all people of goodwill who will stand up now for our children. Please sign the Love Our Children petition, support the resolution addressing the issue of suspensions of our babies as a start to addressing the bigger issues of school suspensions and racial inequality. It takes a village to raise a child. That village must have a common vision and a new attitude. The New Hanover County school system is the front line to the future. If our school system fails our children, we all fail. The city, the state, and the nation. Respectfully submitted in support of the Love Our Children initiative to end suspensions. Sandra Spalding Hughes, former member of the Wilmington City Council and North Carolina State House of Representatives. Herbert Harris, author, former director of the Community Action Group. Thank you.